Well, the time has finally come. I'm happy to say that the first 2023 Colorados have started arriving on dealership lots. So yes, that is right. I am very excited to bring you the first Colorado in stock here. I want to give a huge thanks to Green Chevrolet in East Moline, Illinois. If you guys are interested in the Colorado, make sure to reach out. They have several more inbound. Not sure which ones are sold, which ones are not, but there's definitely a lot of them that are available, so make sure to reach out if you guys are interested. So before we begin this video, I just want to mention that this is not going to be a full detailed walk around, but more of my first impressions, as I have already done a detailed walk around at the 2023 Chicago Auto Show. Now, of course, I am going to be showcasing a lot of these features on the truck, discussing the exact spec as seen behind me, but if you guys want more details about the 2023 Colorado, I'd highly recommend checking out some of the other videos I have already done on this truck, not only at the Chicago Auto Show, but also the comparison videos where I go into detail about the trims and the comparisons between the trim levels. Now, if you guys have been following along with the Facebook groups with the new owners, you'll know that there are some Colorados out there that have already been delivered to customers. However, it is very few. They are now just starting to arrive on dealership lots, and I'm not exactly sure what the holdup is in the shipping process, but there are thousands of these trucks built that have been built over the last few months that are waiting to be shipped to your local dealership. So if you have one on order, which I'm sure a lot of people who are actually watching this video do either have one on order or are contemplating ordering one, I would definitely reach out to your local dealership, see what the status may be on your Colorado, and very much be patient with the entire process, because the dealership ultimately doesn't have a lot of control over the shipping process. They basically get the statuses that GM provides, and this truck very behind me actually had the delayed status, and what do you know, it showed up at the dealership here in the last day or so. So it's just one of those things where I'd early urge owners to be patient, and the trucks will show up here hopefully sooner rather than later. Now, if you have been following the Facebook groups and you have been seeing a lot of the information coming out about the delayed shipping, some of the other minor packaging changes that I was not aware of at the time of creating my comparison videos several months ago when the order guide was first released. So I do want to touch on those briefly as we do the walk around on this exact truck in front of us, and hopefully clarify a few things about this next generation truck. But anyways, the Colorado in front of us is finished in the Glacier Blue exterior color, and this one being a Convenience Pack 3 does have the leather interior with the red accents. If you do get a lesser equipped Z71, that will come with the cloth and leatherette kind of two material seating surfaces and some of the other cabin touches. So starting at the front of this next generation Colorado, LED lighting is standard on the Z71. So these are LED projectors, LED daytime running lights, and your incandescent turn signal in the center portion, with the LED projector fog lights a little bit lower on the front bumper. Nice gloss black accents across the entire front end with your Z71 badges. This one does have the camera system, or the technology package for the 360 camera system. The dark metallic gray on the lower section with, of course, the red front recovery hooks specific to the Z71, although you can get these as an accessory, I believe, on other trim levels, along with a bronze option, which will be very cool to see on certain exterior colors. And then, of course, the lower air dam diffuser, which I think a lot of people out there may end up removing depending on the truck that you get, for just a little bit better of approach angle and off-road capability. Now, one element seeing this truck in person here out in the open that really strikes me is the hood. You can see just how aggressive the overall design language is in the stamping in the material itself. Hopefully that comes through on camera, but it is quite the bulge, if you guys know what I'm saying. That will be interesting to see how it impacts forward visibility from the driver's seat, which we will touch on here in an upcoming video, so definitely stay tuned for that. One item I did want to mention on these Z71s that may have been confused by some was that the truck I showed at the Chicago Auto Show had the black fender flares. Those are not standard on the Z71. They're a little bit less aggressive than that of the ZR2, and as you can see, this is all body color. You can get those black flares for a $100 option via ordering the truck, so make sure to tick that box if you're interested in the fender flares. But anyways, coming to the wheels and tires, these are going to be the entry or the base Z71 wheels. They're 18-inch in size, 265/65 Goodyear Territory AT all-terrain tires, so a fairly aggressive all-terrain, although it will have good on-road handling characteristics with a good bit of off-road performance as well. You can see just how new those tires are by the little nibs on the sidewall. Here from the side, you can see the fender arches are fairly aggressive, although nowhere near as aggressive as that of the Canyon or even the ZR2 with the upgraded fender flares. Gloss black mirror caps with the camera on the bottom for the camera system. Heated, does have blind spot detection, proximity entry on both front door handles. Here's a nice side profile of the truck. It only comes in this cab configuration, so a crew cab with the short box on the back. I believe it's just over 5 feet in box length, and they did shrink the back seat, so it'll be interesting to see once we hop back there just how much room there is for somebody that is kind of average height, if you will. Coming out back, you do get the nice Z71 decal on the bed to indicate that this is a Z71 truck. I do like this design element, I assume for aerodynamics, that kind of flow the air around the step here, but that is a little bit neat, especially when you view it from the side of the truck. You do have LED daytime running lights, or running lights rather, on the back with the incandescent bulb and turn signal. Colorado on the lower left-hand side of the tailgate. Here's your integrated side step that they've been doing on many of their trucks for many years. Rear parking sensors. The tow hitch is another item I did want to touch on. Now, this truck does have the advanced trailering group on it, and a couple owners out there have mentioned that if you do not option the advanced trailering group, you will not receive a tow hitch on your truck. So that's just something to note if you are in the ordering process on a new Colorado, is you probably do want to option that trailering group just so you do have the tow hitch and all the wiring that is ready to go. Now, this truck is missing the spray and bed liner. I really would have liked to have seen the spray and bed liner because that is an additional charge. Unfortunately, this truck does not have that. Take a look at the tailgate though. It is not an electronic release, so it is a normal pull type, but it does have the soft open and easy lift functionality. Of course, the Stowflex is integrated in here as well. I believe this is just over 4 inches deep, several inches wide. You can definitely put a good amount of stuff inside, and it does have a rubber gasket to keep some of the elements out, as well as a drain that you can see right there. So when the tailgate is lifted vertically, hopefully a lot of the water will be drained out if you do put a liquid inside. There's your 120 volt power outlet, is standard on the Z71s. And you do have the integrated ruler here on the outside of the tailgate for just a little bit better functionality when you're using the truck in a work type environment. But yeah, overall the truck definitely strikes me as being a mid-size. It's not huge by any means standing next to it, especially when we compare it to that of a Silverado, which we will do again in a separate video hopefully very shortly. This truck does have the power sunroof at the top, so that is an additional $1,000 charge. So taking a look at the window sticker, like I said, this is basically a fully loaded truck minus the spray and bed liner. So it has the Convenience Package 2, Convenience Package 3, Power Sunroof, Technology Package, Advanced Trailering Package, Premium Audio System, as well as the Glacier Blue Metallic and the black nameplate badges are an additional charge for a total MSRP as seen for $48,245. So the premium upgraded audio system was something else I wanted to mention in this video, in that this comes with the Convenience Pack 3 on the Z71. So if you ordered that spec of truck, it will automatically come with the upgraded premium audio system. Now, unfortunately, the order guide was a little bit vague when I was doing all my comparison videos and telling you about these trucks, and that this premium audio is available on select LT trim levels, not available on the Trail Boss, and is an additional $500 standalone option on every Canyon spec out there from my understanding. So if you want the premium audio, make sure to check that box if you're ordering a Canyon or a lower spec LT Colorado, but it does come with the Convenience Pack 3 Z71 from my understanding and building it on Chevy's website. So make sure to go to the either Chevy or GMC's website, build out these mid-size trucks, and see if the Bose premium audio system does come standard with the package that you're building. Here on the interior, I've already showcased this quite a lot and given you my overall impressions and thoughts, but once again, seeing it in person again, hard touch uppers, silver accent trim, and some soft touch but textured items here on the door panel that also continue onto the armrest. I have seen a few comments on Facebook about the armrest not being that comfortable when you're using it in a functional space because, again, it is not smooth, it is textured. But anyways, power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic driver side. This one being Convenience Pack 3 does have the driver seat memory. Good amount of storage, but it is a little bit sparse, I have to say, with the small pocket, and it looks like a bottle holder down below. No badging to indicate you do have the premium audio, which is a little bit strange actually. You do have a power driver seat with two-way power lumbar, red accent stitching, leather material once again with the red stripes here on the backrest. Easy way to signify that it is a Z71 truck. We'll go ahead and step inside and start it up. So immediately you can see the 8-inch digital gauge cluster powered up. This is the only one available on the Colorado lineup outside of the ZR2, which comes with the larger 11-inch, which I believe fills out some of these other bezels and has more configurable function. I'm very excited to see what that looks like on these trucks. But anyways, you can control it here on the right side of the steering wheel as usual. Cycling through some of the menus. There's the off-road, which shows the pitch and roll, the transfer case, and the steering angle. Very cool. Digital speed readout. It looks very high resolution, I have to say, so that is fairly impressive. I wish you would be able to do some more configuration functionality with it, but looks laid out fairly well, especially on this screen in particular. You have your direction, ambient air temp, your fuel range, current transfer case engagement, your shift, and then your odometer there on the lower right-hand side. Cruise control and other information up here on the left. Overall looks very nice, and again, it looks like there is some programmability. It is interesting to see that there's no traditional, I guess, speedometer dial per se. It's just all a digital readout, and there you can see the tachometer, of course. Leather-wrapped steering wheel with red accent stitching. Adaptive cruise here on the left side with forward collision avoidance assist. As you guys know, cruise control is not standard on every trim in the Colorado, so be careful when ordering a base trim for sure to option that package. Silver accent trim on the bottom, black bow tie. Looks like you have your regular wiper stock, high beams over here, and it looks like you do also have your turn signals, of course. There's your round AC vents, a little bit different of a design versus the Canyon trucks. Gauge illumination, and there's your trailer brake controller a little bit farther down on the left side. And as you guys might know, the headlight controls are missing over here because they are all located over here on the infotainment screen. But anyways, this is an 11.3-inch color touchscreen. Does have a built-in volume knob and power knob. Looks very similar to all of the other GM products that have come out over the last few years. I think we touched this vehicle. And there's your light control right there. So you control your headlights, fog lights, and all of the other exterior lighting on the vehicle. This does have wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM, AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth inputs, all the usual stuff there. So no surprise, you can access the lights via that quick select up there, which is very nice to have a shortcut, although it is a little bit on the smaller side. This does have Google integration, so you can sign into your Google account, use some of the Play Store apps, and use all the full functionality, including Google Maps and stuff like that. I like the hard touch buttons below the screen with the dual zone automatic climate control, heated and ventilated front seats as part of the Convenience 3. There's your AC vents a little bit lower on the front dash. You can roll down all 4 windows, engine stop start on off, hazards, lane keeping assist, and this is your auxiliary 120 volt outlets on and off, so you can turn those on and off as you like. Wireless phone charging looks to be a good size for larger phones. I guess I'll tell you guys really quick if it is or not. There's a Pixel 7 Pro, fits in there like a glove. You have about ½ an inch to spare or so. USB-A and USB-C data inputs here in the front. Good to see that both options are still available. 4-wheel drive for your transfer case as well as the drive modes. So that does come up here on this screen actually. So you have terrain, tow haul, off-road, normal. Pretty standard stuff. 2 high, 4 high, 4 low. As you guys know, the Trail Boss and Z71 get the 2-speed transfer case. All the other trucks get the single-speed transfer case. And of course, the ZR2 will get it as well, but the LT and work trucks do get the single-speed transfer case. Electronic parking brake, gloss black trim. There's your shifter located more on the passenger side of the vehicle. Textured soft touch materials on this side. 2 cup holders. Here's the key fob, pretty traditional, recent GM stuff. Textured armrest. I definitely can see how this might get a little bit uncomfortable as time goes on. We'll have to see when I have this truck for a little bit more time. Looks like a 12-volt outlet inside. Auto dimming interior rearview mirror. Black headliner. There's your interior lighting. It is just incandescent, unfortunately. And there's your power sunroof buttons as well. We'll go ahead and open that up. It actually looks pretty large for a midsize truck, and it opens fairly large. So that's about the same size as a full-size truck, I'd imagine. So no complaints there for the power sunroof on a truck that is this small. I mean, of course, it would be nice to see a larger sunroof, but again, constraints are constraints. Here in the back seat, most of the materials will not fall through. You do have a soft textured armrest, but none of the other materials will fall through. Small bottle holder. And I have to say, it's snug, but it's not too bad. Here's a look at the front dashboard. I'm 5'9". I have about 2 to 3 inches to my rough driving position. There's the map pockets, AC vents, USB charging, as well as your 120 volt all the way down here at the bottom. Now in terms of headroom, I do have a fairly large torso, and I would say I have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of headroom, but it is plenty to actually sit comfortably. The seat cushions on the bottom are extremely soft. I was actually not expecting that. I'm like sinking into the seat, it's so soft. I would say it's tight back here, but it's not unlivable by any means. The footroom's good, legroom's tolerable to my rough driving position, but I could see if you have a taller driver and a taller person here in the back seat that it could get tight very quickly. But overall, for a midsize truck, I would say this is more than acceptable. Now, one thing I do notice here sitting from the back seat looking outward or forward is that the sunroof obviously lowers the headliner as a whole, and thus the interior lighting is lowered and it kind of sculpts out here. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but hopefully you can. It's definitely lower than my overall head height here in the center of the vehicle. So that is the low point of the headliner. Now, luckily they did sculpt out the headliner right here, so there is additional headroom. But overall, that is a little bit of an interesting design choice, seeing how low that overhead lighting is. And I know there were some people out there asking about how the seats fold, whether the seat backs come down or the seat bottoms come up. The seat bottoms certainly do come up like the full-size trucks via this lever right here. There is a little bit of additional storage space. There's your jack, roadside toolkit, and again, there is some additional free space for stuff under there, but not much, I would say. Then you release the seat down. It does not look like the seat backs will fold down in any fashion like the last gen trucks would. I don't see any sort of release. So that will be something to note, is that I do not believe these seat backs will fold down. Coming over here to the passenger front seat, pretty standard stuff. All the materials from the front doors, 4-way manual passenger seat, so no height adjustment. Just look at the dashboard design with some gloss black, textured soft touch. There's the glove box, pretty standard issue stuff. I'll go ahead and sit in here just to get an overall feel for it. That's a pretty good height. I wouldn't say there's any complaints there as far as this goes. Feels very comfortable. It is a little bit on the narrow side, just upon first impressions, given that the leg or the kind of center console butts in just a little bit here. But I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. But I did see a comparison to some sort of Jeep Wrangler interior cabin space. And I have to admit, I wouldn't say it's too far off of that vehicle. I would say this has a little bit more. And taking a quick look underneath the hood, as usual, this has the 2.7 liter Turbo Plus engine as the standard equipment. You can get the high output tune as a dealer installed accessory, both from the factory on the window sticker or after the fact if you want to upgrade this engine. This puts out 310 horsepower, 390 pound-feet of torque through the rear wheels or all 4 wheels if you put it in 4-wheel drive. But I'm very interested to see how this truck drives, which again will be coming in a separate video very shortly to see how it is in a mid-size truck versus that of the full-size truck. Because as you guys know, if you follow along here on the channel, I had the 2023 Silverado with the 2.7 high output for a period of about 5 weeks. So I got to drive that truck on a daily basis, and it was very impressive in a full-size truck. So I am excited to test out not only the 2.7 in this truck, but also the Gen 2 8-speed, which a lot of people out there that have been a little bit hesitant about, seeing the recent news on the older 8-speeds from GM. Now, hopefully, like I said, I will have a driving video on this truck behind me very shortly. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel for that. But nonetheless, I expect it to be very sufficient, especially with the high output tune. So just to give you guys a little bit of a teaser, let's go ahead and drive it around the parking lot. Like I said, I will have a dedicated video. But immediately, like my first impressions, so sitting here in the driver's seat, looking at the front, I have the seat most of the way down. You can see that hood bulge. I wouldn't say impedes your vision out the front, but you definitely see it. I guess there is a little Bose symbol to indicate you did get the premium audio right there. But it definitely can see the hood, gives it just a bigger feel, more towards that of a full-size truck. But even though the overall dimensions are still much of that of a mid-size, the ride quality feels good over this rough pavement, and I am very excited to test it out. It feels very smooth. So overall, this is going to be extremely exciting testing out the new Colorado. So that's going to do it as far as this video goes on my first impressions here on the 2023 Colorado. Like I said, I'll be covering all the trim levels as they become available here on dealership lots. Hopefully there'll be more tomorrow coming with this exact truck. I'll be filming some more content, including my first drive impressions, comparisons, a bunch of stuff to come. So if you guys are not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button below if you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you have a Colorado on order? Have you taken delivery of it already? Or what's the status on your build? And and what spec did you order? I'm curious about that. I know there's a lot of people out there that have been getting either the Trail Boss, which is a little bit surprising given it is more of a bare bones truck, but again, a lot of people do want that, and there's been a lot of Z71 orders out there, but I haven't seen too much about work trucks or LTs. So leave your build spec down in the comment section below. And again, I hope to see you guys shortly with more Colorado content. So as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.